Hi, everyone. I'm Lauren, and I am a therapist, a dance movement therapist, and a body image coach. I want to help you heal your relationship to your body because to me, it is one of the most unnecessary distractions that is so powerful over a lot of people in our culture. And we don't need to have our power taken away any more than it already is. So, I want to give you some power back by helping you heal your relationship to your body through healing body image today. I want to start with 3 tips that you can apply immediately to begin healing your relationship to your body. You might see my cat assistant on the side at times. So, what does this mean? Healing our relationship to our body, healing body image. We're going to try to feel better about our bodies because we don't need to actually change our bodies to feel better about our bodies. That's a lie that diet culture sells, and it's a $72 billion industry that works on really having people feel really crappy about themselves. So, I want to help you today with 3 simple tips that I use with my clients. And I want to say this is just the beginning because healing your body image after years and years and years of toxic diet culture messaging is hard. It's hard to do in a 20-minute webinar. But this can give you an idea about some actionable steps that you can start implementing right now to be able to heal your relationship to your body. So, we're going to do a trick for our mind, a trick for our behavior, and a trick for our body. So, a mind trick is called defusion or unhooking. I'm taking this from acceptance and commitment therapy. And the basic idea that we're going to use for body image is we're going to think about a thought that goes through your mind on a regular basis. So go ahead and think about one of those thoughts that just slams into your mind on a regular basis that really drags you down. If you need to pause and think about it, you can. My hunch is that you already know the thoughts that go through your mind that just bring you down and they feel true. So that's what I mean by hooking. We're hooked by them and we're going to try unhooking. We also could call this fusion, like we're fused to that thought as if it's our identity. We think it's true. So if somebody, say, doesn't like their nose and the thought that goes through their mind is something like, I have an ugly nose, they're going to feel like that's true because it's going through their mind, but it might be complete nonsense. Somebody else could look at that person and think they're beautiful. So what we're going to do is try a mental linguistic trick to create just a little bit more space so that we can entertain the possibility that those negative thoughts might not be true. So the first step is, the thought goes through your mind, I have an ugly nose, or whatever it might be. And then you're going to, in your own mind, think the words, I'm thinking I have an ugly nose, or whatever it is that your statement is. Let's call it X, like we're in algebra. So we think the thought X, then we add, I'm thinking X. Can you see how that creates a tiny bit more space in our mind? Hopefully you can. It leaves the possibility for the fact that it might not be true. The next step is we're going to remove that intensity just a little bit more by thinking the words, I'm noticing I'm thinking X. I'm noticing I'm thinking I have an ugly nose. Can you tell how when you do that with your own statement, it creates just a little bit more space for you to entertain the idea that maybe it's not actually true, whatever it is that you've been thinking. So I want you to try that. You can pause the video if you want, take a few moments, try out that technique, and just notice how it feels. Is it a magic wand? No. Is it something that you can practice over and over again and get a lot better at over time? Yes. That is the skill called defusion or unhooking. So that's our trick for our mind. We're going to take a moment now and think about something that we can do in our behaviors, in our day-to-day lives. This is the simplest thing I can offer. I'm trying to distill what I do with people over the course of 12 weeks, and this is a really simple one. Unfollow people on social media that leave you feeling crappy. Doesn't matter if it's emotionally, doesn't matter if it's because you start comparing yourself to them, unfollow them. It's not worth it. What we consume visually is really impactful for how we feel about our bodies. And hopefully by now everyone knows all of those images that we see on a daily basis, magazines, TV, internet, they're all curated and false. They have tons of makeup, angles, airbrushing, Photoshop that they are using, and those images aren't even real. So why would we compare ourselves to them? So that's the second step. It sounds easy, but it's actually pretty difficult, especially if it's a friend that you really care about. You know what? That friend, if they're a good friend, will still be there if you unfollow them, if you personally need space for your mental health, because they're going to care about you. They're going to want you to feel really good and be the best version of you. So we have our two tricks so far. We have defusion, so learning to rewire our brain and just notice the thoughts that we have and linguistically create just a little bit more space in our mind so that we know that they might not be true. Two, we're going to unfollow people that don't leave us feeling good. The environment is hard enough to control as it is. So any bit of control that you can take back into your own mental health is really powerful. So I'm going to encourage you to do that. The last thing is something that we're going to do for our bodies. So for this one, I want to give you a moment to get yourself set up a little bit. And I am going to make sure that my cat stops making that noise. So take a second, shake off the day, get yourself comfortable. Good. And now we're going to take a moment to practice doing something that feels good to our bodies. Why would we do that to help heal body image? Well, our body is our greatest source of healing body image from my experience. I'm a dance movement therapist. My work is very much focused on helping the body heal so that you can feel better in your body, so that you can feel better about your body. So what do I mean by that? I mean, when we have a body image attack, it is a form of anxiety. What tends to happen is that we are obsessively looping over certain thoughts, certain feelings that are not within our control. Those thoughts are often driven by anxiety. If you notice, when you start to spiral, a lot of the time it's because something else is going on in your world that has increased your anxiety. So for instance, a lot of my clients have struggled with increased body image struggles due to the pandemic, not necessarily because their bodies changed during the pandemic, though some did, but because they were so isolated, they were so anxious about the state of the world, that what ended up feeling like a controllable factor was their bodies. So instead of, and this wasn't conscious, but instead of thinking, oh my gosh, the pandemic's really scary, oh my gosh, I don't know how to behave in a way that's going to keep me and my loved ones safe, oh my gosh, we have a really weird political situation going on, the brain went anxiety, 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 body. It's because of my pant size. It's because I gained weight. It's because there's something weird about my face. Whatever it is, the brain needs something to focus on that feels like a controllable factor in order to not just drive itself totally bonkers, right? So the body in a toxic diet culture is a really easy target. So what we want to do is we want to work with our body image like an anxiety disorder, because really that's what at the root of it is going on. And one way to heal anxiety is through regulating our nervous system. So anything that you've ever done to calm your anxiety is actually going to help with body image too. It may not feel immediate, but if you practice this on a regular basis, it will give you relief over time. So for instance, let's say I'm having a really stressful day. Maybe my cat's running around while I'm trying to do a webinar and I'm really stressed. What I might do, and this is something that I practice, but yours could be a little bit different based on what you need. What I might do is take a second to go outside, put my feet on the ground, look up, bring my arms up to counteract all of that crunching forward and negative thoughts that tend to go with a leaning forward posture. So I'm going to bring my arms up. I'm going to bring my eyes up. I'm going to take a couple of deep breaths and relax and start to use my attention to pay attention to all the other interesting things going on in the world, like bees, flowers, planes going through the sky. Shifting our attention is huge. It gets us out of that looping anxiety-based thought pattern. When we engage our body, it is so much more effective because all of this anxiety, trauma happens in the body. So that's an example of how I might do something that feels good to my body to help me heal my relationship to body image. Yours might be a little bit different. And what I do in my programs is I work one-on-one with clients to be able to make sure that we have a really well-crafted plan for that unique person, because we're all a little bit different. For some people, if I encourage them to go outside, take a deep breath like this, they're going to feel like, great, got it. For some people, that might feel a bit too exposed and open, depending on what kinds of things their bodies have been through throughout their lives. So because we're in a relationship together and I'm your body image coach working with you using my background as a dance movement therapist and an eating disorder specialist, I'm going to help you get closer and closer to your goals every week by adjusting my suggestions based on what you need. So if this is too much for a person, we may start with just the eyes, because actually just moving the eyes upward creates a completely different experience than what we're used to when we're looking forward or down at our screens. We take in more information. We start to create new pathways in our mind because we're not as used to looking up. And we start to have new emotions and new possibilities because of the way that movement, even with just the eyes, impacts our brain. So that would be an example of how we might tailor this for you if we were working more closely one-on-one. If you would like some support with this, I would love to talk to you about what your next steps might be. Please feel free to reach out to me. Please respond to the email where you got this or the link that I sent you. Please feel free to reach out and I would love to support you. We can do a 15-minute free call to just talk about what it is that you're struggling with right now and what you might be able to do to start your journey to heal your relationship to your body. If there's a way that I can help and support you, I'll let you know and let you know what that would look like. And if not, I might make a suggestion based on my years of experience helping people with this type of work and suggest somebody else or another program that might be good for you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Let me know if you have any questions. And remember, diffusion, so creating space in your mental process, behavior wise, we're going to unfollow the people that make us feel not so great, even if it's not their intent at all. And 3, start finding ways that you can feel better in your body through reducing anxiety so that you can feel better about your body. And if you're stumped on how to do that for you, I'd love to support you. This is my passion. This is my specialty. This is what I've been working over 19 years to be able to do, because I struggled with my own body image issues 19 years ago. And this is what I love to help people with, because I know that when we let go of all of that crap that is distracting us, weighing us down mentally, we're then able to be our best selves in the world, to be able to offer our gifts with boundaries and authenticity and creativity that we might have never known that we have because of being distracted by all of that crap. I hope that you have a great day. Let me know if I can support you on your body image healing journey, and take care.